The Nightingale is next on the list of Second Sight movies to get that super limited edition treatment that they do so well, and I was a little bit surprised by this movie in general, because it didn't seem like one that they would normally release. Now, I loved Jennifer Kent's The Babadook, and I was kind of curious about her second movie, running in at 136 minutes, about a 21-year-old Irish convict, Claire, who is chasing British soldiers through the outback with the help of a guide for revenge purposes. Seemed interesting, but I heard it was a very harsh and hard movie to watch. And it is, but it's a worthwhile movie. It's one of those ones where it finishes and you're like, this is a masterpiece.
We don't want no trouble.
That's just the way, isn't it? You don't want trouble, but sometimes trouble wants you.
When you meet Claire at the start, you know a couple of things about her. She has an awesome voice. She is very much in love with her husband, very much still part of that Celtic tradition that she's brought with her to Australia. She is indebted to this troop of soldiers, and she's just working to try and get her freedom, to be cleared of the convict status so that she can move on with her husband and young baby. But that's where we meet Sam Claflin's character, who is Hawkins, who is one of the most horrible depictions of a bad guy I've ever seen. This guy is just evil to the core, manipulative, just so utterly despicable in every way. And you feel very early on that he is extremely manipulative, he is extremely aggressive, he has a little bit of power and it's gone to his head, and he is going to take whatever he wants and he's going to do whatever he wants. Sometimes he'll try and sugarcoat it if the mood takes him. Other times he'll just do what he wants because that's the way he is. And when something terrible happens at the start, Claire feels abandoned, as if her world has been just torn asunder by this evil person who is now going to try and get a promotion and travelling through the outback to get there. But Claire is fueled with revenge in her heart, takes a guide and goes chasing after this man. And it's all through this journey where you're discovering Claire's starting to cope with grief, starting to deal with revenge, as we see her connection with Billy, her guide, who they really form a relationship where they start off a little bit antagonistic, but they both start to realise that they're both being subjugated by this British colonialism that's came into their land or brought people with them to their land.
They close. What are you doing? I don't want no trouble.
It's really impactful in the way that it shows these characters as we follow Claire as she goes for revenge, ultimately beginning to get it and starting to realise that it's really not going to solve everything that's happened to her or the deep trauma that's now within her. Watching Billy as he tries to relate about his roots, about how it's been upturned and just robbed from him, how his race is being slowly just murdered haphazardly by this colonialism that's come in to take everything. It's just one of those really deeply affecting movies that gets under the skin and just gives you a shake. It won't let go. It's one that I watched and it just stuck with me. The disc is beautiful, the transfers are amazing, the cinematography and especially the audios that go with the visual in this one are tremendous, and they all work really together. The aspect ratio is a little bit strange in this one, but it's just such a worthwhile movie. It's a movie that I was kind of scared away from by hearing some of the reviews and hearing people talk about it. And you shouldn't be. It's one that should be embraced. It's one that you can't really say you're going to love and enjoy, but it's one that I liked the characters, I liked the journey, I wanted to see certain things happen, and sometimes they do. I'm trying to be a little bit aloof here because I feel the movie should be discovered as well. So let's just jump into the disc. So we're going to have a look at the disc, some of the extras that come with this one, and we'll see what goodies that Second Sight have packed onto this thing. Okay, so here we have the menu for the main disc, and if we go into the bonus features, we can see we've got 5 main features here, but within this first one, cast and crew extras, you'll see that there's 8 interviews. Some of these have been done during COVID and aren't at the best quality, but they're still really good. Now these interviews range from 9 minutes to 24. Various people who are talking about the movie, starting at the top one, they've got 24 minutes, 22, 16, 20, 15 minutes, 12 minutes, 5 minutes and 9 minutes. These interviews are all really good. They're all varied and different. They touch on various different subjects and they are very worthwhile. If you go back to the other menu, we've got Bloody White People, the video essay by Alexandra Heller-Nichols, which is all about Australia itself, and I'm not really going to go into it too much, but this is my favourite extra on this disc. It's about 19 minutes, it's really well produced, it's got a wealth of information and it's really, really worthwhile. Next up, we've got the Nightingale in Context, which is just various talking heads about the movie, but it's really good again. I mean, all these extras are worthwhile. There's a lot of information delivered in this one. It's really fun the way it jumps between talking to a lot of the actors, their thoughts on pre-production, post-production, making the movie, and it's 28 minutes in length. Then we have the actual making of Nightingale, which is 18 minutes in length. Again, more talking heads, more people talking about the movie, but what I really like about a lot of these extras is there's not a great deal of overlap in the information. Although they've all been filmed at different times, they still deliver pertinent information. It's interesting and it's not duplicated a lot. And then of course you get the 2-minute theatrical trailer. In total, all these extras mount up to 3 hours and 18 minutes worth of stuff, which is exceptional. And like I said, the highlight for me, Bloody White People. So there we have it. The Nightingale, the Blu-ray package, the film. I think it's a purchase that is essential, that is brilliant. I wholeheartedly recommend this one. It was one initially that didn't jump out at me, but now I've seen it, I want it in my collection. What do you think of this movie? Are you interested in it? Is there any of the extras that make you really something you'd want to check out? Let me know in the comment box below. I'll see you next time on ManVFilm.